Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Well, after 11 rounds of competing in the Sorcerer's Apprentice, having a great time, but also probably getting too overly emotional about certain things, my schedule has kind of gotten a little crazy, and I just figure I owe you guys a video to tell you why I have decided to drop out. I'm not like, I don't want to use that terminology because really it's just my schedule kind of getting the better of me. But at the end of the day, I just, things are getting a little too crazy on my end. Basically, what's going on is I got promoted at work once again. I'm working 5 days a week now, 5 full days a week. That's 5 days from 9 to 5. And then after I get out of said shifts from 9 to 5, I usually have a podcast in the evenings. And then the days when I'm not working, I usually like to hang out with friends. So with that in mind, that leaves me basically no time for this at all. Nothing. Nada. It's been a fun ride, guys. It really has. And I'd like to personally apologize to anyone that I've kind of gone off on because, as you might know, I'm not the best at. I'm sorry, I'm kind of trying to keep my voice down because it's early in the morning. People are still sleeping, but I'm not the best at keeping my cool when it comes to these things. I tend to get a little bit overly passionate. Last round, we had some disagreement over the Cirque Fantasia prompt. And, suffice to say, I probably said some things I regret. I apologize for that. I'm not dropping out because of that. I want to make that quite clear. I'm not dropping out because of any drama, any stress. Because I have threatened that before. I have threatened, like, oh, I'm done. No, this is not that at all. This is simply my schedule just literally does not allow for me to be in the game anymore. I mean, here's the deal, guys. Like, I was working all day yesterday, then I had a podcast, and the brainstorming thread is already at 7 pages, and I physically don't have the time to read all that and then catch myself up, and then, once I get to work, probably have to catch up on another 7 pages once I get back from work, rinse, repeat that, do that with doing the podcast and hanging out with my friends on the side. It's getting to be too much to deal with. And so with that in mind, I figure that it's more respectful for me to bow out gracefully than to go out with a whimper. So that's what I'm going to do. Instead of barely competing and, kind of being on as a straggler through the next few rounds, which is most likely what would happen, I think I'm just going to bow out now. I think I'm just going to say my piece and call it a day, because it's been a fun time, but with my 5 days a week work schedule now, plus the podcast schedule, it's just not feasible for me to stay in this game anymore. But I'd like to sincerely thank Space, Red, and Tiki from the bottom of my heart. I'm definitely rooting for everyone on the original Team Castle, because I'm very much Team Castle all the way. I got really into the Team Castle versus Team Brava rivalry of it all. So, I'm very much rooting for my Team Castle brethren. Not that everyone on Team Brava isn't amazing as well. And yeah, guys, just, like I said, I just kind of feel like I owe you guys a video apology, and not an apology per se. I don't think this is an apology, just an explanation. I realize that the podcast completely fell by the wayside. To me, there's physically no way to go through the whole season from what we've missed, because I believe we're like something ridiculous, like 6 or so rounds behind at this point. Having said that, for the end game, I do want to try. I don't want to make any guarantees on this, but I want to try to keep up with the podcast. And I don't know if I'm going to get to do a, like a season in review or whatever, but I will try and podcast about the rounds, from now until the finale, to at least kind of, share my end of it. And Space, if you want me to be a judge for the next few rounds too, I'd be happy to step in and be a full-time judge for the next few rounds. Just let me know. All right, guys. Well, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for hosting me. I apologize to anyone that I've gone off on my time here in the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And you're all awesome. See you later.